Thank you for watching Inspire Math videos. Today we're going to study an easy method to multiply and divide integers. Let's review the signs of multiplying or dividing integers. Since divisions can be changed to multiplications, sign rule for division is the same as multiplications. Let's make a table. We've studied positive times or divide by positive is equal to positive, and negative times or divided by negative is equal to positive. This is called double negatives. These mean that multiplication or divisions of same signs are always positive. Now positive times or divided by negative is equal to negative, and negative times or divided by positive is equal to negative. They are called single negative. These tells us multiplication or division of opposite signs are always negative. If there are only multiplication and divisions, you can find the sign first and then calculate the amount later. Let's see the signs for multiplying negatives. The first question is -1 times +1 times +1 times +1. Since there are only multiplications, we can find the sign first. -1 times +1 is negative times positive, which is negative. And +1 times +1 is positive times positive, which is positive. Now negative times positive is negative, so the answer will have the sign negative, and the amount is 1 times 1 times 1 times 1, which is 1. So the answer is -1. The second question is -1 times -1 times +1 times +1. Let's find the sign first. -1 times -1 is negative times negative, which is positive. And +1 times +1 is positive times positive, which is positive. Now positive times positive is positive, so the answer will have the sign positive, and the amount is 1 times 1 times 1 times 1, which is 1. So the answer is +1. The third question is -1 times -1 times -1 times +1. Let's find the signs first. -1 times -1 is negative times negative, which is positive. And -1 times +1 is negative times positive, which is negative. Now positive times negative is negative, so the answer will have the sign negative, and the amount is 1 times 1 times 1 times 1, which is 1. So the answer is -1. The fourth question is -1 times -1 times -1 times -1. Let's find the sign first. -1 times -1 is negative times negative, which is positive. And -1 times -1 again is negative times negative, which is positive. Now positive times positive is positive, so the answer will have the sign positive, and the amount is 1 times 1 times 1 times 1, which is 1. So the answer is +1. Let's see what we found. The first one has 1 negative, and the answer is negative. The second one has 2 negatives, and the answer is positive. The third one has 3 negatives, and the answer is negative. The fourth one has 4 negatives, and the answer is positive. So when you multiply negative odd times, the sign is negative. As a reminder, we can switch math operations if they're in the same order of operations. Before we get into that, let's see some common mistakes. For example, 7 minus 4 plus 2. Some people believe that an addition is a stronger operation than a subtraction. In this case, they may do 4 plus 2 first, which is 6, making the equation 7 minus 4 plus 2 equal to 7 minus 6, and this is completely wrong. Since a math operation and a following number go together, -4 and +2 are separated. Since a subtraction and an addition is in the same order of operations, we can switch them. 7 stays the same, and we can have +2 and -4. 7 plus 2 is 9, and -4 stays the same. Now 9 minus 4 is 5. Let's double check the original question. 7 minus 4 is 3, and 3 plus 2 is 5, so the answers are the same. The next example is 32 divided by 4 divided by 2. Again, some people do wrong calculations by doing 4 divided by 2 first, which is 2. And the question becomes 32 divided by 2. And this is also wrong. Since a math operation and a following number go together, divided by 4 and divided by 2 are separated. Since both are division, we can switch them. 32 stays the same, and we can have divided by 2 and then divided by 4. 32 divided by 2 is 16, and divided by 4 stays the same. Now 16 divided by 4 is 4. Let's double check the answer with the original question. 32 divided by 4 is 8, and 8 divided by 2 is 4, so the answers are the same. Let's try some questions. The first question is 8 times -25 divided by 2. Since we have only a multiplication and a division, we can find the sign first. There is only one negative, so the answer will have the negative sign. Now we can ignore all signs. Then we could calculate 8 times 25. But let's try switching the operations because they're in the same order of operations. 8 stays the same, and we have divided by 2 and then times 25. We still have the negative sign, and 8 divided by 2 is 4, and then times 25. The negative sign is still there, and 4 times 25 is 100. So the answer is -100. The second question is -2 divided by 7 times -21. Let's find the sign first. There are two negatives, which is a double negative. So the answer will have the sign positive, and we can ignore all signs now. Now we have 2 divided by 7, but this is difficult to calculate. So let's switch divided by 7 and times 21 because they are in the same order of operations. 2 stays the same, and we have times 21 and then divided by 7. 2 times 21 is 42, and then divided by 7. 42 divided by 7 is 6, so the answer is 6. The third question is -5 divided by -9 times -18. Let's find the sign first. There are 3 negatives, which is an odd number of negatives, so the answer will have the sign negative. And we can ignore all signs now. Now we have 5 divided by 9, but this is hard to calculate. So let's switch divided by 9 and times 18 because they are in the same order of operations. 5 stays the same, and we have times 18 and then divided by 9. We still have the negative sign, and 5 times 18 is 90, and then divided by 9. The negative sign is still there, and 90 divided by 9 is 10, so the answer is -10. Let's summarize today's lesson. If you have only multiplications and divisions, you can find the sign first, and then calculate the amount afterwards. The sign is negative if you multiply negative odd times, and the sign is positive if you multiply negative even times. You can switch math operations if they're in the same order of operations. Here are some challenge questions. Try them out. Sample solutions are linked under the video. Hope you can solve them. Thank you for watching Inspire Math videos. Please subscribe if you'd like to join our Inspire Math tutoring community. There are some related videos linked below. Thank you and have a good day.